For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Marathon hearings all night long in the House as the GOP's grinding out last-minute deal-making to shore up wavering party support for President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act, a multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package that would slash Medicaid benefits from as many as 13 million Americans before Memorial Day weekend. They're using procedures that could enable approval without a single Democratic vote as soon as today. Democrats are united in opposition. Here's California Congressman Pete Aguilar, Democratic caucus chair.
In the dead of night, House Republicans are working to ram through their agenda to kick millions of Americans off of health insurance and to take food assistance from families who need it most.
Here's Jody Arrington of Texas defending the GOP bill.
Only in the mind of a Democrat would keeping illegal immigrants from receiving taxpayer-funded social services so that we could sustain those programs for American citizens now and into the future could be a scam or trash.
The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates between 11 and 13 million Americans would lose Medicaid health coverage under the bill. Despite President Donald Trump's push to get hardline conservatives on board with it, the opposition remains due to the estimated $4 trillion debt the tax cuts package would add to the nation's $36 trillion debt. After calling for steeper cuts to Medicaid, they're now calling for the elimination of green subsidies in exchange for support of the bill, which would ensure its passage. A clause in the GOP budget would bar state and other jurisdictions from regulating artificial intelligence for 10 years. Political commentator, author, and podcast host Lee McGowan raised alarm of the bill in this video that's gone viral on social media.
They are already building AI police, AI attack dogs, AI systems to sweep in and mine all of our data. Without regulation, the next 10 years will leave us all at the mercy of AI and its creators. And if AI needs anything, it is more regulation, not less.
A bipartisan group of dozens of state attorneys general have sent a letter to Congress earlier this month opposing that provision. Hospitals in Gaza say Israeli strikes overnight into today have killed at least 82 people, including a week-old infant. This as the United Nations warns it's yet to access the limited food and aid Israel's allowed to enter Gaza after a near 3-month blockade. And despite the UK imposing sanctions and suspending trade talks with Israel over the war in Gaza and West Bank settlements, images of skeletal Palestinian children reminiscent of starving Jews during the Holocaust have gone viral on social media. A former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert told the BBC Israel's war in Gaza is close to a war crime, and the leader of the country's center-left Democrats Party said his country's becoming a pariah nation that kills babies as a hobby. Meanwhile, hospital staff at 2 of northern Gaza's last functioning hospitals in Donezan and Al Auda say they've been encircled by troops, preventing anyone from leaving or entering the facilities. Israel's claimed Hamas operates out of hospitals has provided evidence for only some of those claims. The latest siege comes as Israel's pursuing a renewed offensive to force some 2 million Palestinians to the south, where they'll be relocated to foreign countries, a plan decried as ethnic cleansing. A federal judge ruled late Tuesday U.S. officials must retain custody and control of migrants the Trump administration has deported to South Sudan. In case he orders their removals are unlawful, District Judge Brian Murphy in Massachusetts ordered an emergency hearing today after attorneys for immigrants said in court documents up to a dozen migrants from several countries, including Myanmar and Vietnam, were deported to the African nation. A man from Myanmar was informed of the deportation only in English, a language he does not speak well, and his attorneys learned of the plan hours before his deportation flight, they said. Meanwhile, at a Senate Homeland Security and Government Committee, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem faced tough questions from Democrat Maggie Hassan over the Trump administration's floating of the idea of suspending habeas corpus to deport Americans. It gives the right to due process.
So, Secretary Noem, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right to.
Let me stop you, ma'am. Habeas
right
corpus, excuse me, that's incorrect.
President
habeas
Lincoln
corpus,
used it.
Excuse me. Habeas corpus is the legal principle that requires that the government provide a public reason for detaining and imprisoning people. If not for that protection, the government could simply arrest people, including American citizens, and hold them indefinitely for no reason. Habeas corpus is the foundational right that separates free societies like America from police states like North Korea.
President Donald Trump announced a Golden Dome space missile defense that would cost billions of dollars, akin to Israel's Iron Dome. Christopher Martinez reports.
Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space.
The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office has put the price tag as high as $500 billion. I'm Christopher Martinez.
I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.